Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to be diving into some really cool email pieces that I've been working on in ChatGPT. I want to see if I can't give you guys some case studies as well as just observe the follies that are me stumbling through ChatGPT to see if I can't help you as a real estate agent just be a little more productive and understand how to use this tool a little bit different. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So first, I want to start off by sharing with you guys a ChatGPT thread that I started building out to write some email copy. And perhaps you yourself are working on either writing your email copy or maybe even tweaking the email copy that you have so that you can send it to either leads or prospects that you're working on, or maybe even clients, past clients to work on that. So this specific email series is actually designed to be sent to cold lead traffic, which means they're not necessarily the best contacts, but we do want to reach out to them, try to drive some value. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing all of this content under the lens of the Russell Brunson model called Hook Story Offer. So Russell Brunson is one of my marketing mentors and incredibly brilliant marketing mind. And he actually wrote a book, and I don't have it near me, but it's called Traffic Secrets. So I was working through it this weekend and I decided, you know what, I should apply some of these traffic secrets. I think it's Secret 19. If you do have a copy of his book, Traffic Secrets, Secret 19, all about converting cold traffic. And so the thought is, all right, cool. We've got lots of leads coming into our lead gen through our pipeline. And now we've started working really diligently with our hot traffic, or the best people. These are the people who know what we do, know who we are, who are interested in working with us. And yes. Those are the gold mines, right? After that, we have our warm leads, and these are people who are probably aware of us, or they are looking for specifically the type of real estate that you work with. And all we have to do is nurture them a little bit, give them a little bit of a push, a little love shove, and we'll probably be able to capitalize on them. Well, the third type of potential lead that comes in is called a cold lead. And this idea essentially means that they probably are very unaware of who you are. They might not even realize that they have a problem yet. Now, in real estate, I would wager we don't get that many cold leads because clearly they are either looking to buy or sell a home, and that brought them to you. But you never know. A lot of people like to start house shopping and dreaming, and maybe they are looking to add something to their vision board, and all of a sudden they get plugged into your lead generation efforts. And so here they are. But how do we warm them up? How do we nurture them? That's kind of the goal with this. So I started out this chat thread, and my goal was to give ChatGPT just a little bit of information with a really in-depth prompt. And this was a brand new chat thread that I was going to be working through. And I wanted it to write a few emails to send to customers. I identified that they're real estate agents, and I identified how I want these emails to be built. So I want them to be written in the theme of Russell Brunson's framework, Hook Story Offer. I've found, because I've talked to ChatGPT about this before, that it actually knows who Russell Brunson is, that's a crazy. Russ, if you ever for some reason find this video, you made it. All right. But I wanted it to use that framework. I wanted it to write a total of 5 emails, with the first 2 emails being emotionally based, utilizing story selling as a marketing model. And these are all just like buzzwords in the marketing world that, people typically will write emails with an ethos or emotional, a pathos with is actually ethos is ethical, pathos is emotional, and logos is logical. And so that's how you kind of structure different types of emails, right? And the goal is to hit all of the different customers or the different customer avatars with this kind of thinking. And so I wanted it to utilize the emotional or the pathos based model and use a story selling marketing model. So this would mean I am going to be sharing a story about how my product helped someone, about how working with me was fruitful. And basically, I'm trying to give the person who's reading this email a good mental picture of what working with me looks like. So if that makes sense to you, we're on the right track. And I said the third one will be purely reciprocity based. So I want it to just drive value. I don't need to tell a story. I don't need to pitch. I don't need to try and do anything other than drive value. Now, this is typically where we as real estate agents, and we talk about this in our book, Our Best Workflow Secrets, need to make sure that you've picked a specific niche within real estate, whether that's first-time home buyers, whether that is luxury apartments, or just hundreds of different opportunities for you to pick a niche. But what you can do when you do pick a niche is you can really specialize. You can get really deep into the weeds of what kind of content you're able to drive. And so if a lead comes in and you know that they're looking to buy a house and they're a first-time home buyer because that's who you specialize in, that's how they found you, man, makes it really easy to drive value to them. So we can give some value to them, and it's reciprocity. You know, I give you some value and you think kindly of me. It's just like a psychological phenomenon that happens. And so that was the goal of the third email. And I wanted to utilize, or I wanted it to share about how agents could utilize ChatGPT in the real estate business. Now, that's because that's what we do over here. And so this is for my goal. This is where you as a real estate agent can start to fill in information about what you do, that specific niche, right? And I said it should have tips, tricks, and maybe even a bullet pointed list of ideas of good prompts when using ChatGPT. Now, the fourth email, so basically I'm just lining out each of the emails. Fourth email, I'm going to shift to the logo, so the logical model, and go over why this is a good deal. Typically speaking, if you will structure your emails with, let's say we're going to send 3 emails, you want to hit each of those different types of buyer, the emotional, the logical, and the pathological or the ethical, about why it will be a good decision for betterment of society, or how you can be better for purchasing or working with me, right? So the fourth email would be diving into that logos, the logic model. And then the fifth email, I wanted to use a kind of a FOMO, fear of missing out, scarcity model for a last call theme. And then I had finished that. I said, all of these emails will have a call to action and offer a hook story offer that is a free 1.5 hour long real estate webinar on ChatGPT. And that is something that Mark and I actually put together. So this is it right here. Side note, if you're interested in it, all you have to do is go to workflowsecrets.info/REGPT web. And I will 100% put that in the description. If you're interested, all you have to do is give us an email so we know where to send some bonus resources, including all of the prompts that we talk about in that 1.5 hour long training. But it's pretty cool. Come here, you can learn a little bit more about what we'll be covering. You can read about what we'll be covering. You click this register for my spot button. Again, just throw your email in there so we can send you some bonus resources. And you can learn a little bit more about the host, Mark Stepp. That's my partner, as well as me. I'm Cody Stepp. But that's an offer out there for you guys if you're interested. And that's actually what I'm building these emails to try to offer up to agents. And the goal is just try and teach them, try and give them a little bit more of an understanding. Mark and I firmly believe that there are two types of real estate agents that are going to be making it through probably the next 12 to 36 months. And it is the agents who embrace ChatGPT. So the fact that you found this video and that you've made it this far tells me that you are going to be one of the ones who makes it. So pat yourself on the back. Congratulations. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this journey with you. But that's what we are trying to utilize as our call to action. And, I explained that all I need is your name and your email, and we'll give you bonus materials, just like I pitched to you guys. And then I said, before I get started, does this make sense? Or do you have any questions on the things I'm looking to accomplish? If not, my next step will be to work with you to generate examples. So basically, I'm validating that it understands the prompt. And if it doesn't understand the prompt, where could I have given better direction? And I'm telling it, I don't need anything from you right now. I just need to know that you understand that prompt and we can move forward. So it does that. It says, yes, sounds clear and well thought out. To get started with email copy, it would like to identify the target audience and their pain point, the main challenges or problem real estate agents face, as well as the benefits of using ChatGPT and how it will help solve problems in their work. Those are pretty great questions that we need to think out. So I spent some time after that and I dove into explaining. And at first I just kind of made it pretty brief and it didn't work. So I took it back and I hit this little edit prompt button and I really dove deep into it, explaining the main problems that real estate agents often face. And from my seat, a lot of you guys really struggle with having enough time in the day to just get everything done. I can't tell you the number of real estate agents that I've heard talk about working 14-hour days, 6 days a week, 51.5 weeks per year, and just getting so desperately burnt out that they either churn out of real estate or they like move into this terrible mental space. And our job over here at Work for Secrets is to help you overcome that. And ChatGPT is actually one of the reasons we believe that you can. So that's why we share so much about ChatGPT. Our goal, our core mission is centered around helping you guys just be more productive. And so I'm explaining in this prompt just the reasons why and the benefits of using ChatGPT, as well as what it can do for your real estate business, right? So I write that prompt out. And then it says, great. And then it starts generating all of these emails. Well, what I realize is these emails they're pretty well taking the things that I stated and like directly copy paste inputting it in there. Maybe if you've played around with ChatGPT prompts long enough, you've started to notice that that's kind of what it does. So we've talked about this on some of my other videos, but there are two terms that you can utilize to help kind of smooth out your prompt copy. And it's the phrase perplexity and burstiness. Now, perplexity is how complex something is, and this is how humans talk. We typically try and massage out the complexity so understanding is easier. And then burstiness is just generally the formatting. It's long, it's short, it's in, it's out, and there's no rhyme or reason. And that's something that ChatGPT actually struggles with understanding. And so sometimes it's very apparent in this. So as it's writing these, I said, can you rewrite these using perplexity and burstiness? Now, this is where this email chat thread kind of went off the rails, because what it did is it didn't interpret that as me wanting to make those style shifts, but rather it interpreted that as me just wanting to get it plugged into the overall copy. And it started running away with it to the point that I was like, oh no, what have I created? This is a monster. And I realized very quickly that it was not going to work well. Here's a great example of the copy where it placed it in. So it said, our platform's perplexity and burstiness will allow you to work smarter, not harder, and strive to achieve success in your real estate career. What does that even mean? Come on, man. That's not what I wanted, but that is what I asked it. And so this is where I was not being an effective prompt engineer. And I may have seeded in good information, but it was not working well for me. And like I said, it just kind of went off the rails from here. And I said, can you please rewrite in the ninth grade reading level, keeping the message meaning the same, as well as include the link workflow secrets / RE G or REGPT web, which is again where you can access this free training. And the link is down below. I would be honored for you to sign up. And so the reason why I asked it to write in a ninth grade reading level, this is another little fun thing. So most people typically like to read in an eighth or ninth grade reading level. It's just easier for them to read. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just a little complex. Maybe that's the issue. And so I asked it to rewrite those in a bit more palatable of a reading grammar structure, I suppose, or content structure, as well as add the URL. And that wasn't it. And so then I ended up rewriting it, and I was like, okay, well, the reading level is not helpful, but I do still want that URL to be added. And then observe, didn't add the URL, still talking about perplexity and burstiness as some sort of magical concept in the copy. And the other thing that kind of frustrated me was it was saying our AI powered platform. We don't have an AI powered platform. We're just sharing about AI and sharing about ChatGPT. So now I've got a lot of issues in this copy, and it is just stacking on itself. So it didn't finish there. Instead of addressing it, I just kept on going. So like a goober, I just kept on going. And then I was like, all right, well, let's see if we can pull this one out of the dumpster. But plot twist, it's not going to happen. So I said, that's not quite right. Email 1 and 2 need to share stories that engage with the audience and encourage them to keep reading in a fun, empowering way. Here's an example of something some things we covered and the people who came to the event and could use to create good stories to add emails. And so then I talk about a little bit about the webinar and how many people we had show up for this event, as well as what Mark covered, and an example about one of our friends. His name's Chris. He is a broker who works out of Kansas City, Missouri. And it was like, ooh, my bad. Sorry about that. Started rewriting it, but still talking about perplexity and burstiness, still referencing our AI platform, and just overall not a great one. It also started making up stories about magical mystical agents, and personally not a big fan of fictitious customer experiences or customer journeys or stories. Be that what you will. I just personally can't get behind it. If I'm going to drive value for someone in real life, I'm going to make sure that I do it in a way that they would be willing to share. And because of that, I don't need to gather just like fictitious customer journey or stories. And I also think, like, how do I validate that? You know, that's just so difficult. Still doesn't have the link. And at this point, I'm just getting ready to pull my hair out. And so I said, these are better examples. Please rewrite them with perplexity and burstiness, and do not boast about them as features. So I'm, again, maybe not the best way to phrase the prompt, but I'm just trying to clean this up. I'm trying to, shovel my way out of the storm. And I also correct that we do not have a platform. It's just about ChatGPT. The event is also self-paced and not live, which, as a fun fact, If you're like, oh man, Cody, I don't have enough time in my life to go attend a webinar, don't worry. It's self-paced. Go ahead, hop on to workflowsecrets.info/RE GPT register, give us your email. We're going to send you some bonus resources. And as a product, you can take this training at your own speed. And I'm going to just keep plugging that, right? Because I do think that this is a really incredible value. If you're looking to just understand where do I even start with ChatGPT, that webinar covers all of the basics. And then we dive into a framework that Mark has spent 3 decades working with real estate agents to cultivate called the C.O.R.E strategies. And it's basically conversions, operations, retentions, and experiences. And those are the 4 areas that you as a real estate agent need to have good systems in your business. So I was hoping to kind of include some details, and I was like, man, maybe that'll do it. It didn't work. So I tried again, and I said the terms perplexity and burstiness are not features, but rather a style I would like you to write to create better content, to read like a human. That didn't work out. And I gave it the specific URL. That still didn't seem to do it for me. And the hair pulling continues. So at this point, I've pretty well given up on this. And I'm like, I thought I was just so frustrated. I was like, man, I've walked myself into a mess. And a lot of it was because I was not being a good prompt engineer. I wasn't ensuring that those prompts that I was writing, and there were moments where perhaps I could have gone back and I could have tweaked the prompt that I had initially and fixed it before we got here. And I just, at the end, I got so upset. So that's what happened with attempt 1. And so what I did was I went ahead and I went back to this concept because I still need those emails to be written. And I went to one of the chat threads that I had previously worked on before. And you might recognize it because this is one that I've talked about before. But basically, this core seeding thread, and you can see it over here on the left-hand side, is a thread that I spent about a week of my life seeding in all sorts of information, all about who we are, what we do, who we help, who you are as the real estate agent, what you do, what kind of work, how you help people, how we want to engage with you, all sorts of content. I pretty well took our entire book and I like chapter by chapter, word by word, line by line, seeded it in and explained to ChatGPT all about our business so that it just had this incredible understanding. It was like 177 pages on a Google Doc of information. So that is a properly seeded ChatGPT area. And what I was able to do from there is go, all right, let's take that initial prompt that I shared from this terrible example and let's plug it in over here. And so this is both the follies that are sometimes prompt engineering and how you can leverage a properly seeded ChatGPT thread when I moved over to the one that actually was seeded appropriately. So I added this in, said, yes, it makes sense. It understands Russell. I've talked about Russell in this chat before. I've also asked it about different copywriting methods. It understands how I write because I've given it examples of my writing, just lots and lots of stuff that I've seeded in. And so now it starts to validate the information. It said the call to action is a free 1-hour long webinar. Provide their name and email. Is that correct? It gets it. I said that's correct. And then all of a sudden it starts, it understands me and it kind of serves. I get what you need. Here you go. Don't say no more. Say no more. I got you. And so it starts cranking out some content. Now, not only does the content read much better, it follows the same structure that I'm looking for. It has some of our key phrases like world-class client experience. It's a concept we talk about in our book. It's basically how you as a real estate agent can drive incredible experiences for your clients time and time again, leveraging your technology, because the less emails you have to send, the more time you have to do the thing that you as a real estate agent are just like singularly able to do. And that's build relationships, right? So building a world-class client experience is all about building that relationship, understanding who your client is and how they seek to show up in this world, and then helping either make their life easier, give them value, give them something that's going to help them remember you, give them an experience. Lots of ways to do it. But that's what a world-class client experience is. So it understands that. It understands the core strategies, that framework Mark speaks about, and how it can be applied to ChatGPT. We're off to the pony races, right? So it starts giving me all of these different ones. I said, this is a good start. It might be worth adding. And then I take a piece that I had added here, this piece right here, that where I was starting to try and refine or hone in. And I said it might be worth adding a little bit more about the target. They are cold lead traffic. And so I explained all about the main challenges and why they might want to come to this webinar, what they're working with, all sorts of different stuff. Again, just adding additional context. Nothing new. I added it in the other one, but for some reason, when it's properly seated, it helps it understand it a little bit more. So after that, I asked it to provide some examples, and it starts doing that. Now, the thing that I didn't personally like about this is that even though it's following the hook, story, offer model, it is no longer using that ethos, pathos, logos style of writing. And it's not giving me stories or anything like that. So that's where I have to start massaging and fine tuning it. But first, I wanted to understand, okay, these are not bad examples, but can you explain to me how you chose to write these email examples to nurture cold leads? I want to validate that it understands why it is writing the way it is, so that it knows, A, this is why I'm writing the way I am, and this is why I'm writing the way I am for cold leads specifically. So that's like a little power nugget. If you are working in ChatGPT, you're looking to learn a little bit more yourself, or you want to validate that ChatGPT is actually just not talking out of its own bits, that it knows what it's talking about. So it explains the first email. I started with the hook, addressing common challenges. I talked about the benefits. Finally, I presented the offer, the free hour-and-a-half long webinar. Second email, similar structure. Third email, focus on reciprocity, just like I had asked it to do in that prompt. I said, we're offering free training. Is this the best place to drop them into the funnel? Now, it already knows about ClickFunnels, the software we use, as well as what a marketing funnel is, because I've seeded in all that information. Again, I'm just asking it to help me out, help me understand how I can best drive an experience for these leads. Or perhaps this is not where I should start. Maybe a free training is not where you want to enter a cold lead. Maybe you need to enter them into your customer experience with just some information or something like that. And so it validates that offering free training, such as a webinar, can be a great way to drop leads into your funnel. Free training provides value. It validates, okay, no, you're doing a good job. I said, okay, now it's time for some emails. And I asked for the first three. Here are three email examples for once someone has received those first three and is a little warmer. So I've taken the emails from up top, and I've started massaging them personally in my own copy outside of ChatGPT. Now, what I could have done is I could have plugged it back in and said, here's how I adjusted it so it understood me a little bit more. Now, I've shared with it my writing style, so I just opted into not doing that this time. But now I've asked for an additional 3 once they're a little bit warmer. Once I've used those first 3 emails to warm them up, how can we effectively approach them? And it says, here's 3 examples that you could send to warm leads. And then it starts to give me these examples. And then I realized, you know what? There is a really good device that we can use in our emails called What That Means. And what that means is you are adding additional context, and you're kind of you're making a statement, and then you're explaining that statement in a way that is helpful for them to understand, helpful for the person reading it to put themselves in your shoes, or help them kind of visualize who they will become as a product of taking this training. So in ClickFunnels, Traffic Secrets, from Russell Brunson, he talks about changing the vehicle, right? And I've kind of talked about this in some other videos, but essentially, if you are in a 1999 Ford Focus, but you want to be driving a DeLorean, how do we shift you from the person who drives a Ford Focus to the type of person that drives a DeLorean? And what does that journey, what does that path look like? How do you have to change along the way to get there? And can we articulate that journey in a way that entices you to go on that journey? And so that's what that means is. And I wanted to give it an example as well so that it just understood a little bit better. So I said, here's an example. What this means is creating breathing room in your day-to-day that is needed to start making headway, growing your lead database, and providing a world-class experience for your customers so you never lose one again. All this can be yours for free, but first you have to click the registration link in the ChatGPT training. It says understood. I can add a what that means section to each of the 3 emails provided, and then it starts doing it. Now, you can't use emojis in emails, so that's a bummer, but it's cool that ChatGPT is able to do that. I didn't think it was big enough of a deal for me to correct ChatGPT on that. And hey, look at that. It's added the URL. Now, this URL is from our event that we had live a couple weeks ago, and it's sourcing it from way up in its chat history. So wrong URL, but I actually just fixed it on my own, so it didn't bother me. I could have told it, hey, man, that's the wrong URL. It's actually workflowsecrets/info-RE GPT web, right? And then it could have given ChatGPT a better understanding of how you are going to go to workflowsecrets.info/RE GPT web and sign up for this free webinar, right? Now that I've hooked you in, you're enticed. You're so curious about what this webinar could bring you as a real estate agent. And what it will do is it will codify your understanding of how to use ChatGPT. And what that means in your business as a real estate agent is being able to use ChatGPT to help your lead gen efforts, to work on your email copy, to help you build out social media posts. It's going to help you with to-do lists and schedules. It can help you build workflows and understand the processes for your to-do lists. And all of this is done in like seconds. So that is what that webinar is going to help teach you. And it's going to do it through the lens of the core strategies, that conversions, operations, retentions, and experiences. So why wouldn't you want to sign up for that, right? So it sounds pretty cool. After that, I said, what are some other ways that you could show a real estate agent that is a cold lead and being emailed as a part of a campaign, who they will become for signing up? So again, that vehicle change. And it provides me with a list of 5 ways. I said, these are great suggestions because they are. And based on all of that you know about me, my business, and the free 1.5 hour long training, would you create an example for the email with each of these 5 ways to help the cold lead? So I like to use this style of prompt in this specific chat thread because it has so much information. So, based on all that you know about me, is a call to understand everything in this chat thread. And if it doesn't get it the first time, you can explain to it, hey, sometimes I'm going to say, based on all that you know about me, what I want you to do here is remember everything from this chat thread and apply it to your understanding. So that's a fun little prompt add-in that you can have. And I explain that for the hour and a half long training, and then ask for those examples of the 5 ways, referencing the 5 that it gave up top. So then it said, of course, and it starts building them out, and it adds in this what this means section. Again, weird URL from our previous event. I could have corrected it, probably should have corrected it, but because I'm massaging these anyways, after I pull them out of ChatGPT, I'm applying discernment. You guys might have been playing bingo at home with me, and I said discernment on this video. So there you go. Don't miss your opportunity. So here it is giving, imagine the day with more free time, a world-class client experience, a better real estate business. Then it stops. Now, this is something I've also shared in some other ones. A lot of times people just type the word continue, and sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. Mark and I have talked about this frequent amount because he just writes the word continue and life works for him. But unfortunately, doesn't always work for me. And this is the story of my life. When I was growing up, I would always have errors with my computer. And as soon as I would ask him, hey, Mark, can you take a look at this? It would like fix itself. I think that's what happens when you're talking to like tech support or a computer engineer. Like computers just get like scared of them and they just fix themselves, I swear. But I like to say, please continue writing example. And then I reference the example that it stopped writing on and complete examples 4 and 5. So because I did ask for 5 total, I wanted to finish the one that it stopped on and then continue forward with what it was doing. So here's how it does that. Example 3, here's example 4, and it stopped on 5. And then I said, thank you. Please finish example 5 from above. Again, I'm giving it that stimulus. Example 5, boom. So this is how I was able to successfully take some just dumpster fire of a prompt seeding from a brand new chat, and how terribly wrong it pushed me. And then how I was able to take that same prompt, apply it to a well-seeded chat, and it starts to generate some really successful content. Now, after that, I took all of those emails and I plugged them into a Word document. I started massaging them, started rewriting them in a way that added additional context. It better suited the people I'm speaking to, as well as kind of leaned into the nuances that I, as a marketing professional, understand. So this is where having that area of expertise is just so valuable, because I'm able to utilize ChatGPT to get the base work done. And I'm able to do it pretty quickly when I get the prompts right. And after that, I massage it. But instead of taking all day to write 10 emails, it took me like maybe an hour, I guess 2 hours total with that first prompt, just being an absolute failure. But if you think about it this way, think about how you, as that real estate agent, have that expert in the specific niches or the specific areas of understanding that you oftentimes work with leads in. And think about how those leads could be utilized and kind of nurtured, cultivated using that email marketing. So I know a lot of us are currently using ChatGPT to rewrite our email marketing, to rewrite our social media copy. And this is an incredible way for us to start leveraging it as a tool, but not neglecting the fact that we, at the end of the day, are the ultimate agent who is able to apply these different concepts. So that's what I wanted to show with you guys today. That's what I wanted to kind of dive into. And that is kind of it for this video. But I will one more time circle back on the idea of our free training. So this real estate and ChatGPT training that Mark and I put together, like I said, it's an hour and a half long training. So all you have to go to is workflowsecrets.info/regpt.web. Again, I'm going to throw a link down in the description, so don't like stress out over it. And what you're going to have access to once you sign up is this hour and a half long training. Now, this training over here is going to teach you all about some of the core concepts of ChatGPT, about AI and how this kind of AI war is waging and what it's going to look like over, like I said, the next probably 36 months, maybe pushing out to like the next 5 years as society starts to integrate ChatGPT into literally everything we do. And by ChatGPT, I mean AI. And how you as a real estate agent can utilize ChatGPT just to find more success. And at the end of the day, the goal is to help you be more efficient with everything that you're doing so that you are able to show up at your real estate business in a way that you can move with speed, you can move with purpose, you can create content, you can create schedules and to-do lists and all of these things. And again, just get away from that 14-hour, 6-day-a-week model that I swear is just so rampant in real estate. And it does it in a way that is going to help you build that business. It's going to help you scale. The more people you're able to bring in with good education through your lead generating efforts, and you can move them into signed agreements turn into contract through close. Now we have some past clients. And if we can keep those past clients happy, continue to nurture and build that relationship with them, provide them that world-class client experience, we are going to start to grow our real estate business in a way that is just almost unfathomable. And that's what Mark and I are hoping to do, is give you the tools to start down that path. And we like to call the real estate agents who are integrating ChatGPT into their business tech-empowered real estate agents. So I want you to become a tech-empowered real estate agent. Now, if you are interested in diving deeper after that, Mark and I do have an event that we have made, and it is completely evergreened. It is self-paced so that you can sit down, you can work at your own pace, and it's got over 4 hours of training all about ChatGPT and how you can tactically apply it to your real estate business. So if you finish this webinar and you're like, all right, I'm sold, let's do this. And then you're like, oh, but wait, where do I start? How do I do this? Go ahead, pick up the core agent and ChatGPT event, go through this training, join our Workflow Secrets tribe, and we are going to be here along the way to help you do that. All you have to do is click here to sign up if you're interested. So far, we've had about 40 agents go through this training, and I was able to capture some little nuggets from 3 of our friends, Chris, Jose, and Paula, and shared those with you. What this does is it comes with a lot of really incredible pieces, including access to all of the trainings, training replays. You guys are going to have access to a membership area that is just for you so that you can log in. You can see all these trainings. We're constantly updating more resources and trying to drive value with videos kind of like this. And you guys are also going to gain access to the Workflow Secrets ChatGPT prompt guide. It's about 120-page without getting smitten Bible that is going to share all about how to use ChatGPT, best practices for ChatGPT, best prompts for ChatGPT, specifically for you as a real estate agent. And this resource, Mark and I keep going back and forth on how do we leverage it, because I just want to give it to you guys. Mark is like ready to sell it on Amazon because it's such a valuable piece of information, but we're going to settle for hosting it into this. You guys are also going to get access to a couple bonus trainings, including some marketing trainings like this one right here, as well as the event slide deck, so that if you want to follow along, you want to see all of the slides that Mark and I had used in our demonstrations through all of the different training modules, as well as we hosted a webinar all about ChatGPT, which was the foundation for this training right here. Now, when we hosted that webinar, we offered it for 3 nights and it was live, but we capped it at an hour. And when Mark and I walked away from this, we were like, oh man, that was just not enough time to get done everything that we wanted to get done and to share everything that we wanted to share. And so that is how this training emerged. And that is how we decided to just go until we're finished, drive all the value we can. And after that, we're going to really be able to drive in. So you're gaining access to the webinars, all 3 replays when you sign up for this. Now, if you're interested in signing up, all you have to do is click this button right here. It's going to take you to an order form. You can see all about the different pieces that are offered. The value of this is like $590 when we've compared it to other people who are out there trying to offer ChatGPT courses, but we're not going to do that to you. I want to give you guys just as much valuable information as possible. So for pretty well the price of our time, we're going to be offering it for $149. That was the cost of the event when we hosted it live, and we felt that that was a fair offer for you guys. And so all you have to do, fill out your billing information, billing address, payment information. We accept all the major credit cards, complete order, and you are off to the races. Now from there, we'll send you an email, which will get you access to that membership area. Just create an account. Then you can start taking all of those trainings. So far, we've had lots of agents take those trainings, and some of them are finishing in like a day, and they're emailing us and they're saying, this was incredible. This is what I learned. This is what I'm going to start doing. What do you think about this? And we're able to kind of point them in the right direction. Some agents are, going, hey, I'm going to take this as slow as I need to really get to understand these concepts. And they've been working at it for a little over a week now, just really grinding into it. And those have also been some really incredible conversations. But that is my offer for you guys today as a part of this training. And I would be so honored if you guys would take us up on it. Again, workflowsecrets.info/REGPT web is going to get you access to that free training. And if you want to dive deeper, that is the perfect opportunity for you to join the core agent and ChatGPT event, and we'll get you going from there. But that is what I've got for today. I appreciate your time, your attention, and you learning alongside me. So here's what I want you to do. First, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and in the comments, I would love to know how you have just desperately destroyed a ChatGPT thread trying to build something out using just bad prompts, and how you were able to save it, or what you think of how I was able to save it. But until next time, I will see you guys very soon.